unloop things today. We're cooking some beef ribs from Patton's Meat Market. We're gonna tear into these beef ribs. Fortunately, my butcher already trimmed them for me. Typically, we would have to go and trim the fat off of the back of them here. But as you can see, the folks at Patton's Meat Market already trimmed that up. You see some nice marbling here, nice beautiful hunk of ribs. The first thing, we're gonna give it some of this Himalayan Sherpa from Atlanta Grill Company. Nice salt and garlic combo. Let's get a nice coating all over there. Rub that in. Flip it over. Get the back. Of course, we wanna make sure we get our edges too. Time for some of this hardcore carnivore black. This has a mixture of salt, garlic, sugar, but the most important is it has an activated charcoal, which gives us a really awesome bark on beef. I love to use this on brisket too. All right, now that we have our beef ribs all seasoned up, we're gonna let these sit for about 15 minutes. And while we're doing that, we're gonna go get the grill started. Today, we're gonna be smoking these beef ribs on a Kamado Joe. So first thing we're gonna do is load it up with some lump charcoal. All right, so once we have our grill lit, we're gonna be doing this cook indirect. So with the Kamado Joe, we're gonna put these ceramic plates in here, like so. Followed by our grill grates, which is what we're going to actually cook the beef ribs on. Then we're just going to watch it for a few minutes and make sure our temp stabilizes between 225 and 250. Once we have that grill stabilized, 225, 250 range for smoking, we're going to take our rack of beef ribs, just set them right in here. And what we're gonna do is leave them there until they reach an internal temperature of 165, 170. That's what we call the stall. When we hit that stall, we're gonna pull them off and wrap them. But until then, they're just gonna sit and cook. So our short ribs have been on here for about 3 hours. So we're gonna check this temp here. We're about 172, 173, a little higher than we wanted to wrap it a bit sooner, but that's okay. So what we're gonna do is pull these off now, wrap them in aluminum foil, just to break through that stall point and essentially braise them for a little bit, which is really gonna get you that fall off the bone tenderness. So we're just gonna pull these off. Try to be careful here, not mess our bark up too much. I'll get a close-up shot so y'all can see just how delicious that's already looking. Now that we've pulled the short ribs off, we're gonna wrap them in some aluminum foil. I'm gonna pull 2 nice long sheets out here. 1 and 2. See what we can do here. All right, so I'm just gonna set this right in the middle of here. Get my pan out of the way. We're gonna wrap 1, just coming across like this. Like I said, this aluminum foil wrap is basically gonna braise these short ribs for a bit, which is gonna give us that really tender, fall off the bone texture. So we'll wrap this until we get up to about a 205, 208 internal temperature, and that's when we'll pull them to rest before digging in and eating. We got this nice and wrapped. There we go. Just go right back on the grill. And we'll come back to check on that in a bit. All right, y'all, so we've had these beef ribs in our Kamado Joe for about 6 hours now. We've been monitoring the temperature with this meter plus, which allows us to, check from our phone, see where we are. So I think we should be, based on that, around 203, 204. We're just gonna double check with the little instant read here. Come in. in. Y'all probably can't see that, but we're reading 203, 203 and a half, which is right where we want to be. So now we're going to pull these beef ribs off the smoker, put them in the cooler, let them sit for 30 minutes to an hour. And what that does is all that juice that's built up inside this foil here will start to soak back into the meat. So instead of it dumping out on the cutting board when we cut it open, it's going to be in every bite. So we're going to take our cooler. I have a towel in there to help with a little better insulation. Put our meat in there, close it back up, let it sit for 30 minutes to an hour. Then we'll dig in. Now we're going to pull our beef ribs out of the cooler. They sure do smell good. Here's our meter thermometer. Oh man, that looks delicious. After about 6 hours and a 45-minute rest, we're ready to cut into these beef ribs. Let's see what we got here. That is tender. Alrighty. Oh man, look at that. Nice smoke ring, very juicy. Let's look at this last piece here. Oh man, it's just falling apart. Oh, right off the bone it comes. That is some tender meat right there.